Hi, my name is Melanie Sinclair and I'm from Transition Town, Holywell, and this is the first question. How would you ensure that our local communities have improved and increased support during the cost of living crisis?
Thank you, Melanie. Much appreciated. Can we start with Gareth and then we'll work our way down? Would that be okay? So 2 minutes, Gareth. Is it on?
I think so.
Brilliant.
There we are.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you.
All right. My name is Gareth Ffowcs Williams. I'm third on the list for Welsh Conservatives in the Clwyd area. I'll start by thanking TCC for hosting the meeting and giving us all the opportunity to put across our party views. And although our politics may differ, I'm sure all of our reasons for being here are the right ones, and we all want Wales to improve and thrive. There's no doubt that times are difficult for many in Wales at the moment. We have a stagnant economy, and the Welsh Conservatives would look to supply-side economics to pull the levers to kickstart the economy into action. We're offering bold tax-cutting agenda that let working people keep more of their hard-earned money in their pockets. We'd cut the basic tax rate of income tax by 1p, meaning around about £450 per year, the average worker's saving. We would scrap land transaction tax on primary residences. This would free up housing ladder, and positively effect of this would be felt not just by the people moving home, but by the tradesmen and women and all the ancillary businesses that benefit when someone moves house. We would impose a cap on council tax increases of 5%, requiring the councils to hold a local referendum if they wanted to increase above that. Staying with councils, we would make their budgeting and planning easier. We would devolve greater powers to the local authorities and provide them with 3-year indicative budgets, whilst also reforming the local government funding formula to ensure fair funding across all of Wales. We'll introduce a community ownership fund to save threatened local assets such as libraries, pubs, leisure centres and green spaces. These are key elements that help keep communities alive, but are easily eroded when funding is pulled. We'd develop a tackling poverty action plan to include specific strategies to address child poverty and fuel poverty, and we'd secure more banking hubs in Wales to serve local communities where banks have closed down.
Thank you, Gareth. That was well timed. We like that. Can I pass you to Carley Murdoch from Green Party, please?
Yeah. So, I'm Carley Murdoch Dyson. I'm the second list candidate for the Green Party in Clwyd. And a lot of people are feeling the squeeze right now, some more than others, and not one policy on its own is going to fix kind of decades of this kind of managed decline that we've been living through recently. So from a Green Party perspective, we've got 4 key areas that we think are going to really help people, both short-term and longer-term, with the cost of living. So the first being housing. So we'd look to create a fairer rental system. So that's an initial 1-year rent freeze just until we can get the kind of process sorted in the following years, so that there can be rent control areas implemented, that kind of thing. Also expanding social housing, so we want to build 60,000 new homes over the next 10 years. And also help people reduce the cost of their energy bills by supporting them with retrofitting their homes, so insulation, reducing reliance on fossil fuels, which will mean that you're less at the kind of will of the market and the fluctuations of the prices that we're really starting to see now. Also, transport is a hugely important thing for people in their day-to-day lives. So we want not just cheaper transport, but better transport that people really use and want to use. So free bus travel for under 22s, and then £1 single fares for anyone older than that, along with more reliable travel and
30 seconds.
More reliable travel and better links as well, so better routes. We also want to introduce more universal childcare from the age of 9 months to help working families. And also from a water perspective, a lot of Welsh Water's bills that we pay goes to servicing their debt, and we don't think that's right, so we want to bring that back into national ownership.
Yeah, thank you much indeed, Carley. You agree with that?
Working.
Okay, Carolyn Thomas, Welsh Labour.
Yeah, I'm Carolyn Thomas, Welsh Labour, second on the list for Clwyd. I just want to say that welfare isn't devolved to Wales, but there are things we can do. We will tackle poverty by putting our Welsh Benefits Charter into law, making sure everyone in Wales can access their full entitlement to financial support, whether it's council tax rebate, pension credit, carers allowance and personal independent payments. Maintain the discretionary assistance fund to support people in financial crisis. Welsh Government partners with the Fuel Bank Foundation to provide emergency support, particularly for those on prepayment meters, and give off-grid support with fuel vouchers, heating oil and heated throws to prevent households from losing power or heating. We'd enhance the Single Advice Fund in providing guidance and benefits and debt relief. We will also continue to support credit unions' work on financial inclusion. The Welsh Government's Warm Home Nest scheme offers free and partial energy advice and on energy improvements such as insulation, heat pumps or boilers to eligible low-income households in Wales to reduce energy bills and their carbon footprints. We would carry on investing in important community facilities such as the Holywell Football Club through Uni Cymru, investment in Theatr Clwyd. The Communities Facilities Programme has grant-funded village halls, community centres, play facilities, community shops and charitable organisations. We've also funded warm hubs.
30 seconds.
We have the £1 bus fare for under 21s, and we will introduce a £2 cap to everyone else. And we've kept free travel for over 60s. We will continue to do that. And we will increase the amount of bus services provided with 100 more new services. We've increased rail services and we capped fares this year. And we'll be introducing the tap-on, tap-off. We will pay the real living wage for social care, continue to pay the real living wage for social care workers.
Caroline, thank you.
Oh, right, thank you.
Llyr Gruffydd from Plaid Cymru. Llyr, just bear us a second, please.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Yes, thank you very much. I'm Llyr Gruffydd. I'm the lead Plaid Cymru candidate. We have a 6-strong team of candidates standing here in Clwyd. As others have mentioned, on this particular issue, we also have policies to ensure fairer rents for housing, additional social housing as well, retaining cheaper transport also. But I want to focus specifically in my response, if I may, on children and young people, because we know that 1/3 of children in Wales are currently living in poverty. 1 in every 3 child, that's the legacy that's being inherited by whoever leads the next government. So we propose to pilot a direct child payment canal, we're calling it. It'll replicate what's happening in Scotland, where there's a direct payment to the poorest families for each child. It'll be £10 a week. It doesn't sound much, but Scotland is the only part of the UK where child poverty is actually falling. So we want to pilot that in Wales to see whether that can actually have the impact that we hope it will have. You will, I'm sure, be aware that we are offering free childcare in Wales, universal free childcare, 20 hours a week, 48 weeks a year for all children between 9 months and 4 years old, and that of course will put money back in the pockets of parents, but also of course give some of those children the best possible start in life. We look at countries like Estonia where they have this kind of provision and they have some of the best educational outcomes in the world. We want to extend the free school meals policy beyond just primary schools and increase the availability of free school meals to all those on universal credit in secondary school as well, again taking pressure off family budgets. And finally, retrofitting is important for us, our homes, because not only will it lower people's bills, but it means they live in warmer homes. It means that we address some of the climate issues and carbon reduction. It means that we create jobs with that, and also it will improve health outcomes for those who live in cold and damp homes. Thank you.
Okay, can we pass over to Louise Emery from Reform, please? Thank you.
Noswaith dda pawb. I'm Louise Emery from Reform UK. So there's 2 ways to tackle the cost of living. One is on the supply side, and one is providing support while we get the economy moving. So firstly, on the supply side, the way out of a cost of living crisis for every family is to see if they can get a decent job and bring more money into the household. And how are we going to get to do that? Well, particularly in North Wales, we're going to look at improving what we have here. Tourism is a huge industry around here, and we've got a manufacturing base on the edge of the English-Welsh border. So Reform are going to try and boost the Welsh economy. We're going to have a new dedicated Minister for Industry who is going to be looking at what we can bring into Wales and make Wales the best place for business in the United Kingdom. We're also going to be looking at things like business rates reform to help hospitality businesses. We'll also be looking in agriculture and farming. That's very important to North Wales. How can we help farmers produce our food and then create a vital economy in the rural areas? That's kind of the supply side, improving the economy. But obviously, in the meantime, we need to provide support for people. So again, I think it was Gareth was saying about the council tax. We would perhaps set that at 4.99%, and if it's any higher, we'd ask the council to have a referendum. And we'd introduce a tax lock, because we've got to be careful as politicians what we promise, because there's only a certain amount of taxpayers' money to play with. So we can promise all these things, but they've actually got to be funded. And Reform understand that, but they also understand that if we put money in people's pockets and they decide how they spend that, then that's a good thing as well. So there's lots of great ideas that we've heard here on the table, but we've just got to be careful that we've actually got the money and to actually fund these ideas. Thank you.